Welcome back to another episode of Talking Tarkov. I'm the EarLegAthlete here with,
Hey Dizzle.
and today we've got a handful of new news and information to go over, so let's go ahead and get right into it. First and foremost, I guess we'll start with the hardcore wipe specific stuff. We got loyalty level 4 for Jaeger, Therapist, and Ragman have been opened up upon reaching their corresponding conditions, which I have the majority of the traders at level 3. I got to get some rep to get Therapist back to level 3. But I'm like 0.02 away, so just a task will do it if it hasn't already. I wasn't paying attention last night. But as for getting everyone to level 4, like Ragman, I need to spend some money on. Peacekeeper, I need to spend some money on to get those to level 3. But everyone else, and I think that kind of boils down the majority of like the trader experience right now is needing a bunch of cash to be able to unlock and level them up, because it's hard to make the money on the hardcore wipe on its own. So you kind of have to utilize Arena, which is what I've been doing. And it's been working out.
Well,
All my traders are pretty high level, so
especially Peacekeeper, like getting the
yeah, dude, it's
USD.
insane.
Like I just started selling and buying like from him nonstop. Like everything I sold, I was selling to him. Everything I was buying from him. I
Yep.
had to, and it's like getting him to level 2 was hard, and I can't imagine what 3 and 4 would be like.
Yeah, it's to
I think
go
3
from
is
2 to
90,000.
3. Yeah, to go to 2 from 2 to 3, you're at 35k and you have to get to 79,000.
Okay, 79.
So almost 80k. And it's substantial. I've been pretty much just like any cash, cuz like scavs will have like 500 USD in their pockets pretty consistently. So like any cash I get, anytime I have USD, I just go and I spend it instantly, and then I sell a bunch of shit back to him. And like anything I like you said, anything you can sell to him, I am selling to him. And I think I'm only at like 50k spent on him or something like that, because it's just like the values just aren't there, and it's so hard to get a
Right.
1,000 USD to drop on AUGs and stuff like that consistently. So, but yeah, leveling the traders has been like my side project, I guess. It's not really the main focus. I'm just glad that I am doing it though, because it's unlocking stuff that is extremely helpful. Ammo is still pretty hard to come by. Traders still don't have a lot of crazy good stuff. With ref, you can get like CBJ and PP for 545. But yeah, the leveling the traders has been a really good way of just like keeping solid kits. Like I
Right.
consistently run level 4 helmets, level 4 plates, if not level 5. It's been a good wipe this wipe, and my stash is almost full. Like I have enough space to probably like kill 2 or 3 players and bring all their kit in, like their entirety of it. But yeah, it's getting full, and I'm like kind of at that point where it's like I need to die more, but my gear's a good bit better and I have good ammo, so like I'm taking more shots and it's a little bit harder to die. Like I still die, but like those one-off deaths are happening less and less. And now it's
Right.
more like actual engagements or what I'm losing to. Where before, somebody could just see you and take a shot and you'd be dead. Where now I can like bounce it off the helmet or, eat a chunk of it.
Yeah, it definitely is noticeable. Like when you get better gear, it does keep you alive, and
Absolutely.
especially with people running, mid ammo this wipe. It's like even people now are still running pretty mid ammo from what I've been able to tell.
Yeah,
Um,
that's as good as it gets. Mid is
yeah,
great right now. If you have decent
yeah,
stuff, it's perfect.
yeah. So I mean, it's level 4 armor is pretty good. Like most arm or most ammo right now, you're talking, maybe level 3 high pin, level 4 medium pin, like average, if that.
I've been
Probably
settling
level
for
3
low pin
average.
level 4. Yeah, level 3 is the
Yeah,
average, and I'm like, I hope I hit face. Like I hope I hit him in the face.
right.
'Cause this is gonna be rough. And like you can still punch
Well,
through armor, obviously. Like that's
yeah,
an
I was gonna
option.
say it works. Yeah, yeah, it does work.
It just takes a few extra shots, but it is noticeable. I accidentally loaded in a front level 6 plate and a back level 6 plate in a Karasa that I'd picked up off ref. I meant to put in my level 5s because I had like 3 sets, and I wasn't paying attention. I just happened to stick level 6s in there, and I was getting shot at from a guy right in front of me, and like I was just tanking hits, and I was like, "What the fuck? These plates are crazy." And then I checked after the raid. I was like, "Oh shit! I didn't mean to do that. I don't want to lose my level 6 yet." And then of course I took them off, and I after the fact, like even just I think 2 nights ago, I was sitting there. I was like, "Why did I take those level 6 out?" Like there's no reason to
Yeah,
hoard them. They're not doing me any good
no.
sitting in my stash. I should utilize what I have and get along with it. But
Well, it's with items being rare. It's like when you do have something good, especially this wipe. It's like you kind of want to like use it at the right time. It's like you don't want to waste it,
right,
but
just a
at
random
the
woods
same
map
time,
run.
well, and like we already know this, but it's like you get gear in Tarkov to use it, and good gear is going to help you survive the same amount in every raid. You're not going to get better survival if you hold on to it. Like
Right.
it's made to use, and it's hard to get in that mindset. I myself am not there yet, but I know I should be.
With anything other than the level 6 plates, I have no issue throwing it away. I've lost so many good kits and it doesn't affect me, but I'm also in a place progression-wise where I have ref level 3, I can get the Osprey, the MK4 Osprey. That on its own is huge. I can get
Yeah,
just from ref, I can go get the Osprey and the U-Lock. And from there you're like you're pretty big, you're pretty thick.
yeah,
Um
yeah.
so like armor has gotten substantially easier to maintain, so I haven't really cared about that. And then when it comes to guns, all I really loot outside of like task items and the occasional hideout stuff, because I don't really care about hideout. I know I should. It is extremely useful, but for whatever reason lately, I just haven't really cared too much. So all I really loot are like weapon parts. Worst case scenario, I have to buy the suppressed AK from Prapper to get the start, just to have the gun started. But like keeping good
Right.
guns with sights and optics and all this shit is extremely easy. Also, Ref has like the Razor and a couple other really good LPVOs.
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so even
That just
maintaining
that
that is easy.
SR25 he has is like all you
Crazy
need. You know what
good.
I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so
And the
good.
RD704 he has is
He's
good.
got the
It's like,
RD that's suppressed, yeah, with the best stock in the
yeah, he
game
just
on
got
it.
so many good choices. Now it
Choices, yeah.
does cost more now. You know what I mean? Like it's definitely more expensive than what it used to be, but it's doable if
Yeah,
you're playing uh arena every day
well,
or
even
even
that's what I
every
was getting ready to
week.
say.
Like
Even playing arena daily, I'm having a hard time. Like, I can't go and buy the Osprey, a helmet, and a gun just off that one day's worth of arena GP coins, just because of
no,
the prices are
no,
so high. I have to like I've found and dude, I had like 1,000 in some at the start or something like that. Like I had a shit ton, maybe not that many. I think it was around 600, but like I was like, oh, that'll be plenty. And by the time I'd unlocked him, they'd already upped the pricing, and that was like two
right.
cases, and it was gone. It was gone. I had to start over. I was like, oh shit, this is rough. So like it is good gear and it is, easy to acquire, but you can't just constantly buy that Osprey over and over and over and over. Well, I
Right.
guess you could if you
Yeah,
focus
I had
only on that.
400. I had 400. Like that was my first transfer was 400 GP coins, and I think I still have like 200. Like the only thing I've bought from him so far, which to be fair, I haven't been playing Tarkov hardly at all. But the only thing I bought from him, I think, was a med case, and that's it. But
I
I've
mean, that's
only died
fair.
like
You
once in like my last 20 grades, so
Yeah, yeah. Your last few raids, you've been doing really well.
yeah,
Well, they also not just leveling the therapy or the traders, but they also increase the spawn chances for rare loot across all locations. So that's kind of given me a little bit more reason to just like go in and have raids because there is a lot of like the high tier stuff that I'm missing that I would like to get, and I I, I think that knowing I can go in and start like grinding out my GPUs might actually start pushing me towards wanting to do my hideout just to get the Bitcoin farm up because that's like another daily 700K, right? Like it's an easy way to make money.
right.
So that kind of changes like my perspective on what to do in raid because lately, especially with you not having been on as much, I've been playing with some of the guys in the Discord and stuff, and just kind of going in raid and like I'm still accomplishing things, but I'm mostly just doing extra shit. Like I'm just looking for fights and just having fun and kind of dicking around. Um, because I think we might as well just start talking about it now, though. Like you had said, you haven't really played at all this wipe, and I see people constantly talking about just like, "Oh, I'm burnt out. I don't want to play," and "Oh, this wipe is ass," or whatever they're saying. So, what do you think it is that caused the burnout for you this long, this early into the wipe?
Mine's I'm still not sure, but I think it's a combination. I got really sick there a couple weeks ago and went almost 2 weeks where I just couldn't play. Like I couldn't get
Right.
out of bed hardly. Like it's the sickest I've been in a long time, and I couldn't do anything. So I got really far behind. And when I mean, not really far because of the things being limited, it did help. Like it's not like a normal wipe where everybody just
Level
zooms all the
wise,
way to 40.
sure, yeah, but yeah,
Yeah, but it was like so it was probably the best time to go a week and a half, 2 weeks without playing. But I still felt, you know what I mean, like I would watch someone play and it's like, well, I can't, I can't do what they're doing. Or if I wanted to play with you guys, it's like I have to make you help me go do all my tasks. And it's just,
Which
you
I'm
just
all
don't like
for.
doing that. You don't
You
like,
know what I
well, I
mean?
know that. Yeah.
No, I love
But at
that
the same
shit. I
time,
love that shit.
you, you can't help but just be like, I don't want to be that one guy who still hasn't grabbed the pocket watch. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
from
Or,
that standpoint, yeah, from your perspective, absolutely, I can understand that 100%.
but when you add that, plus I've been playing Tarkov for so long, like I'm
Yeah, you're
almost 8,000
over
hours.
8K or at
Um,
yeah, almost. Yeah,
almost 8K, I think. I think I'm almost
yeah,
8K. But, and, like I said, I still have the want. I still love Tarkov. It's still my favorite game. I need to find a way to enjoy it again because I'm at that place where I'm just not having fun when I am playing. Like I don't hate it, but it's like I used to get such a rush off playing it. I didn't want to stop. You know what I mean? I'm playing all
right,
night, like up
right.
until early morning. Like finally shutting it off at like 7 a.m.
Yeah,
That has just not been there for a minute, and I think it's just a combination of things. I don't blame it on the hardcore wipe because I love. If anything, it piqued my interest more.
for
So
sure.
I think this was going to happen regardless, but I don't think
Well,
it's
here's the thing
permanent.
with
You know what I
Tarkov.
mean?
Yeah,
I think it'll come back. Yeah,
yeah, because
and
Tarkov's one
part
of
of
those
it is
games. It's
me.
like, well, there's also part of it is Tarkov too, because like
Yeah,
we were talking about this a little bit before we started recording. Like you were saying earlier, it's the same rinse and repeat thing. Like you'd referenced DayZ and said, I hop on DayZ and I still get that feeling. In DayZ, you're creating your story. You're every time you log in, you're working towards whatever goal you've set. With Tarkov, you're working towards a predetermined, pretty railroaded experience. Like you can go off the
yeah,
rails and you can do other things. You can just go and raid and like rat and troll or whatever. Just to look for fights and hunt food and become Santa Claus, whatever. You can do stuff, right? But for the most part, like
yeah,
you want to progress to a point to where if you do die or if you're having trouble for a week with raids, dying and shit, that you can recover from it and it doesn't really affect you. And like you want to have decent stuff unlocked, like anybody else does. So, but after you've done these tasks over and over and over on repeat, wipe after wipe after wipe for upwards of 8,000 hours, you kind of are going to get to a point where you want to take a break from Tarkov, and that's completely
right.
understandable. And I think every player goes through that at any play amount of time. You put 100 to 1,000 hours into a wipe, and then your progression gets reset. And while we mostly don't care for that, like it doesn't really bother us, like we're okay with it. We like the idea. But then to have to reset and do it again, and you do that, 10, 12, 15 times, yeah, of course there's going to be some burnout.
Yeah,
So I don't
I,
think it's a
I,
inherently bad thing that you're like, yeah, I'm just playing other shit right now.
well, and
Like
part of, but
I'm
that's
not
the
sitting
other
here
thing
thinking like,
is,
oh, he's gone, he's never coming back to Tarkov. No, like
well, that's the other thing though is I really haven't been playing anything else either. It's like even though I love DayZ, it's like I really haven't even fired DayZ up. Um, I think it's like I said, I still would fire Tarkov up and like sit there, but I just wouldn't do much. Like I'd almost just sit there and not know what to do, and
kind of stare at your
it's
stash, move stuff
almost
around, and
yeah. Do a couple scav raids and then just call it a
eh,
day. But
yeah, right.
I feel like almost as if I just started taking it too serious instead of just having
That
fun
could
with
happen.
it or
Yeah,
something. There's something there. I still haven't figured it out. Like I'm still struggling with trying to figure it out, but I have a few ideas, and I there's something that I've done. It's like my mindset is just not where it used to be, and I'm not sure exactly what it is. But like I said, I have a few ideas, and I think it's something that's going to be fixable. I just gotta figure it out.
yeah. And I mean, hell, even when I was at like the 1,000 to 2,000 hour mark, and I was like, I had that rush and that like constantly had to be on Tarkov. It didn't matter what was going on. I had to be on Tarkov. I had to be home. I had to be on Tarkov. Like even then, I still would get to a point where I was like, yeah, I'm kind of bored. I'm kind of like burnt out. I don't really want to go do this task I've done 30 times again. I don't want to go do this again. So like
Right?
burnout just happens, and that's true for
It
any
does.
game, not just Tarkov. Look at like COD, Battlefield. That's why there's yearly releases because of burnout. Um, but yeah, it's just like there's a lot of time invested into this game, and I think that's what makes it feel so weird. Because when you do miss a few weeks to a month, like it's like, oh shit, I am like miles behind. I'll never be able to catch up, and then like you get in this headspace of like, yeah, I'll just wait till next week, right? Like I'll just get
Right.
back into it then. Um, And that's normal in my opinion. I think it is, and I think a lot of players are going through that, especially newer players, potentially right now with the hardcore wipe too. Like, I think burnout is probably at an all-time high, just based off what I'm seeing. Because like, you're not the only person that I've seen or heard from that's like, yeah, I'm just not playing this way. Like, you haven't
Right.
necessarily said that, right? Right. But
No,
like,
no, but
people
I've
are
heard that.
just kind of over it a bit right now. They're just
Yeah.
waiting for the next one. Not enough changes were made. There was no introduction to new task lines. There was no
Right. Well, it's
reworking of
like in
tasks. It's just like, what's the point?
1.0 coming next. It's like everybody's kind of like, if I'm going to play anything, it's going to be 1.0. A lot of people are like, why
Right,
play
right.
now when it's going to just get
Just wait a
wiped
little
when 1.0
while.
comes out?
Yeah,
Right.
yeah,
So yeah, there's a lot, and subconsciously that might be part of it with me. Like I might be just not realizing, but it might, I might just be telling myself, 1.0 is coming, so what's the point? I've done this 20 times already. I've been
right.
playing
Yeah.
Tarkov
Why
forever.
not? Why not take a little
Well,
break on it? And I mean, you're getting time in on other games. You're like you said, you're playing Beam NG right now and
well,
doing that
yeah,
whole
but like I
thing.
said,
And like,
what's weird is, like I said, the whole time that I haven't been playing Tarkov, I really didn't play any other games. The only game I started playing, which was the Battlefield beta, um, I started playing it because I had participated in the Battlefield labs, the playtesting and stuff. So I got an early access key, and I was like, oh, I might as well use it. So
yeah,
but even that, it's like I only played maybe a couple hours a day, and it's just like I just couldn't get into it. But yeah, today I broke my sim racing rig out and started playing some rally games and some BeamNG, and so yeah, it's not really being replaced as much as it's just
just taking a break.
it's not even that, because
You
like I said,
know?
I'll still fire Tarkov up. It's just my sessions aren't long. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I don't stick with it.
yeah, that happens. It does. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a bad thing.
Well,
And
more or
Tarkov is the
less.
kind of game that you can do that with too. You can take a break from it. You can take a step away and always come back to it. You don't have to be on that grind 24/7.
Well, like I said, the biggest thing I'm noticing is just how I feel when I play it. It's like, because like I said, when I fire Daisy up, I'm excited. I'm, looking forward to what's happening. But it's like lately when I fired Tarkov up, it's like almost like a chore. Like, oh shit, I gotta go do this shit. I gotta go do this.
Right.
Instead of just having fun with it, it's like I said, it's almost like I put too much pressure, or I don't know, took it too
Well, it
serious. I
feels
don't
like
know.
with Tarkov too, it feels like all your progression. If you don't task and you're not, forcing yourself to do these things, you kind of feel like you're just kind of sitting. Like, sure, you can survive a bunch of raids and get a bunch of kills and level that way, but it takes twice as long. So it's like you almost feel like you have to do the tasks. Where
Yeah,
before it always just felt like, oh yeah, if I'm there and I see it, I'll pick it up. But like, I just want to go to Shoreline and just like go loot resort, see if I can get into a couple fights, try to score some gear, do whatever, look for some keys, like
yeah,
try to make some,
yeah. That's
you
also
know,
part of it. Is nothing's new. You know what I mean? Everything.
that's
I know
true.
everything about the game. I've done everything you can pretty much do in the game. It's like there's not that thing anymore where it's like, oh, like
That
I
mystery
don't know
about
what
it.
what this. I don't. Yeah, I don't know what this is, or I don't know what happens over here, or it's like that's part of it. And I think it's just everything. It's everything at once. And it. I think it's fixable. I don't think it's permanent. I think that I'll figure it out, but it's just I don't like it because I love Tarkov. I don't like feeling this
Right.
way about it, because like I
Yeah.
said, it's the only game I really think about. It's the only game, I do think about other games, but Tarkov, when I think about my game is
It's
Tarkov.
Tarkov. Yeah.
So yeah, so it's like Daisy's a close second, but Tarkov is easily number one. It's like that's been that way for quite a while, and I still feel that way. It's just I need to figure out how to
You got to
get
find
back
that
to the
spark again,
enjoyment
that
part.
love. Yeah.
Yeah, just the enjoyment, just the
Yeah.
looking forward to going in and just playing.
And I think 1.0 will be that answer too, if not just
Yeah,
some time away from the game, right? Because like it always like, well, I haven't played in a while. I'll hop on, you start having fun, you get some kills, and then like it just becomes fun. Um, but if not, if you do wait out the wipe, 1.0 is supposedly a reintroduction to what Tarkov is, so it'll be new. We'll have new task lines, we'll have a mix up to the current task lines, and potential new locations and things like that. So we'll see.
right.
And then potential map reworks and everything else. And hey, maybe the event is something that just kind of is out of the ordinary and, puts you in a different kind of mind state for it, and
Yeah,
that's where you come back. You never know.
yeah,
But yeah, it's you know, I I I think it's healthy to get burnout from Tarkov too, because if not, you just kind of end up in this spot where you're always on, but you're never really doing anything.
yeah,
Like you,
yeah.
you're not.
Just sitting in your stash.
Yeah, you're kind of just sitting there. Like you said, you'll run a couple scav raids, but you're just kind of burnt, and it doesn't help
Yeah,
the
you just
it doesn't help your mental state when you're in that position either. Because then you're like, well,
yeah.
there really
It's
is
like
nothing
you're
for me to do.
indecisive.
It's like,
Yeah,
yeah,
you're indecisive. You can't decide what you want to do, and everything kind of sounds like something you don't want to do. But it's like you just keep going through it in your head, like, well, I do need to do this, and then you'll start to do it. You'll start to put a kit together. Then you're like, I don't really want to do that, and
right, yeah.
I don't know. Next thing you know, you're just like standing in your room naked, like building a train set.
I mean, okay, let's go.
Well,
But
at
yeah,
least that's what I do.
understandable. Yeah, trains are cool. Naked's cool. Why not build them naked?
Right,
It's
right.
natural progression of life. But yeah, burnout is okay. That's pretty much what I'm trying to get at. Is like it's okay to get burnout. It's understandable to get burnout. Tarkov is a game that is grindy. It is a lot of progression. It is progression focused, and it is repetitive at the moment until we get 1.0, and even that will become repetitive, right? So
Well,
don't take it too seriously. I guess try not
that's
to
what I was
take
gonna
it too
say.
seriously, not just to you, but to everybody.
The last thing, I do think the hardcore wipe has played more into my mindset than I originally thought. Now, the more that I think about it, I think that's part of the reason why I kind of was just not having as much fun, because I was thinking I had to be just extra efficient. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like
right.
with everything going on, it's like,
Extra careful,
you
extra
can't
efficient.
really,
Yeah,
yeah, you can't really afford to just mess around as much. You can't just turn around and buy what you want. So that's probably a good chunk of it. And even though I love the idea, I think I just went into it the wrong way. I think I went
yeah,
into it
like a
putting too much
job.
pressure. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
just too much pressure on myself. And what's funny is, like, statistically, I've had a great rate, good or great wipe, and like I, I should be happy with everything, but it's like obviously I'm not. So I think I
right.
just went about it wrong.
I mean, that's always possible. Cool thing about Tarkov is nothing's permanent. It's all
You're right.
replaceable. Um, but yeah, don't get hung up on it if you are burnt on it. Just let it play out. Come back when you're ready. It's Tarkov, right? Like I know I just said this,
Yeah.
but it's what it is. You can come back anytime. You can wait a wipe, 3 wipes, 4 wipes. You're coming back to Tarkov. So that's the cool thing with Tarkov, or just any game in general that you're feeling burnt out on. You don't have to force yourself to continuously play it because it's your primary game. You can't expand and do other things. Like hell, even I will hop on other games from occasion and just like take a break from Tarkov. I think that's just normal. Um,
Well,
in the
every now and then
hardcore
I'll,
wipe, it sucks to quit playing because you do feel like you're further behind, but also
right.
like finding the idea or understanding the idea that it's everybody's still fucked because ammo is hard to find. Like
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. People aren't pulling as far ahead this way.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things.
But,
It's a weird one. Like you can come back anytime and you can leave anytime. It's the door's always open with Tarkov, in my opinion.
well, and the crazy thing is like, I've been playing this game forever, and I have these things, like these memories of playing like older COD titles, and every now and then I'll just go download an older COD, and I'm like, man, I miss that. I miss what COD used to feel like. I miss the older
Right.
games.
Right.
Well, I'll start grinding. Like, I downloaded World War II not too long ago and started playing that. And surprisingly, it has a really active player base on Steam. Like, you can instantly get into any match. I was like 3 o'clock in the morning, I could get in a match. It didn't matter what time. But I played for like a week and a half. And then I was like, oh, yeah, I remember why I don't play this anymore, because
Yeah, yeah.
it's not great. Like, it's okay,
Right. Just
but
super
it,
repetitive, super washed.
yeah,
Not a
yeah,
lot going on
it's
with it.
still similar. And the
Yeah.
fact that Tarkov can still, like, stand the test of time after playing
Yeah,
so
almost a
long.
decade
Like,
later, and it's yeah,
yeah, it just shows like even compared to some of the games that I think I loved and think oh those were awesome and I would love to just keep playing them. It's like when I actually go do it, they don't hold up as good as Tarkov does.
no, not at all. Tarkov is definitely a special game. Definitely a special game. And it is very much a revolving door game. It's not like you don't feel like with Call of Duty, if I were to start at the beginning of a battle pass season or whatever they call it, and make half of my progression and then fall off for a month or two and then come back, I would feel like I was miles behind. I would feel like that would put me in a place of not wanting to play. And Tarkov sometimes can feel that way, especially during regular progression wipes. But with the hardcore wipe, I just feel like, and realistically, even in a regular progression wipe, Tarkov is still a revolving door game. Like you can come back and start getting stuff done because you're not guaranteed to always run into those overgeared players. So it's like all I'm saying is it's okay to take breaks and it's okay to feel burnout. It happens to the best of us. It happens to everybody. It's normal. You know, just you'll make your way back.
Yeah,
We all do. We're
and
all fucking addicted.
you can be behind because even that 2 week hiatus that I had where I was sick, like when I came back from that, I went on like a 10 raid win streak and had great
Yeah.
raids and had some
Yeah.
really good kills, got some really good gear, and it's like I was right back in it. And it
Yeah.
was just like that was, like hardcore wipe where I barely had anything, but even the guys who were way above me, they still barely had anything. So it was like
Right.
I had
Yeah.
no issue. It was fine. And that's why I tell myself all the time, like, it's okay to, hop back in. You're not gonna be like out geared or
Yeah.
like it just it's easy to think that you would be just because of the progression, but when you really sit down and think about it, even people that have access to everything, they don't have the money to just buy it all right
Yeah.
now because
That's a
no
lot of
no
it
one's
too.
really
Yeah.
like no one's really like balling right now. Like there are a few people, but
Yeah. But the majority are not. Um,
even
I
in
mean,
even in normal Tarkov, it's like yeah, you're going to run into players that are definitely better than you. You're going to run into players that are definitely richer than you, have better items than you. But you're also going to run into a lot of players who are on your same level, like statistically, skill wise, gear wise. Like it
right.
all evens out, really.
It does. It really does. Yeah, we could talk about burnout and that kind of stuff. I think pretty long. One last thing I do want to add on that is we got a look at player count. And here I just want to show you guys this real quick. Oh, that's the wrong one. Anyways, Nikita made a post. It was one of the cock words. You know how they use the Pac-Man emblems to spell out cock on some walls?
Oh, that's all I know about.
Yeah, that's like my favorite thing to find in Tarkov. But yeah, Nikita made a post or a response to Desmond Pilak. He was kind of saying like, "Oh, server load times are rough right now. What's going on?" Nikita says, "This is matchmaking wait time chart in seconds. No anomalies detected. Current CCU is something around 45k in PvP." And I think in a later comment, he said something like, PvE looks to be about 50-50 with it. So another 45 to 50k on PvE. I would say that number in PvE is probably a little bit higher since I know for a fact a large majority of players have been like, I'm going to PvE for this wipe. I don't really want to
Yeah,
deal with this.
yeah,
So I would say that the numbers are up a little bit in PvE. So I mean that's a very extremely healthy player base. It's a lot of players online. You're looking at
yeah.
close to 100k daily.
You're in the territory of the top 1% of games, online games at
Yeah,
that player number.
yeah, that's impressive. That
You
is
can look at the
impressive.
Steam charts and you're talking up there with Counter-Strike and League of Legends and things like that.
Yeah, and that is quite an achievement. Um, and the
Well, considering
45k
it's
is
only on one platform, like yeah, it's impressive.
yeah, and it's not like a total figure. This is players online at any given moment. If you look at like weekly, monthly numbers of like players that logged in, not necessarily all online at once, but players that logged in, it's 100 and some thousand, 130, 140,000, 500. What was it? I can't
I
remember.
think it was
It's a
right at
pretty
it was right at like 120,000, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it was a pretty large number for like average for just players that logged in throughout the day. So this is just online in a moment. But yeah, that's impressive. These numbers are very impressive, especially if PVE is keeping up or outpacing that. That's extremely impressive, and that's just really cool. Moving
Well,
on
and
from
if it's
that
really
though,
true of all the people that have just not even played this way because they didn't want to play the
true.
hardcore, if and all the people that have quit,
Yeah, think about regular
it,
progression wipes.
yeah, if that's really like a bigger number than normal, then that's pretty impressive number to still beat it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, consider if that's the case, I would say there's probably 20,000 people or more that aren't constantly logging on to Tarkov right now, which puts those numbers even
Um,
higher.
this is kind of off. I mean, it's kind of on subject, but I was reading. I think it was a Reddit post or something the other day, and it was people saying that they they loved Tarkov, but they didn't enjoy it because they just felt like Tarkov was missing a equalizer for the player base, like basically skill based matchmaking. And
Ugh.
yeah, he got tore up in the comments. Like everybody's like, "No, dude,
Yeah.
don't
That would be
bring
the
that."
worst thing for Tarkov, yeah.
But surprisingly, there was quite a few people that did also agree that Tarkov needed something for players who didn't have the experience or players that weren't like leveled, like
Well,
newer players coming into a wipe, level 1, level 2, should they be going up against, chads that
yes.
are uh they've already
They know
got
the way
Kappa
around it. They
and
know how to run
yeah.
Tarkov. Yeah, yeah, yeah. They know they're Tarkovers,
And
1,000 hour plus players, yeah.
I get it when people say stuff like that, but it's like, in my opinion, and I know you probably agree, that's what makes Tarkov Tarkov, is you never
Yeah,
know
100%. Yeah.
what you're running
Well, it's
into.
what makes Tarkov Tarkov, and that's what teaches new players how to get better. Because me getting
Right.
shit on by anybody better than me when I first started playing, I learn things every time I die. And maybe not every player thinks of it this way, but when I die, especially in a firefight that I'm like actively fighting in, not just a one tap off from fucking who knows where, but like actual dude was shooting at me, I was shooting at him, firefights. You learn so much value from somebody that's better than you. You don't know about right hand peek versus left hand peek. You don't know about jiggle peeking. You don't know about ADS strafing or WASD strafing, like circle strafing. You don't know to like fucking move your leans off Q and E so that you can always WASD. Put them on your mouse button so you can lean while you WASD. Like there's so many little things that you can start to see and figure out just because you see a better player do it. You don't know that you can jump on this, vault over this, climb up here. How do you get on top of that? Like, there's so many different things that you can pick up from better players. Sure, you lose, you die, you lose some kit. So what? Like it's Tarkov. That's what you do. The next raid, now you know to look there. Now you know to check here. If you're playing people at your skill level, especially at a lower level and at a lower skill, you are never learning anything new. You're going to get stuck in bad habits. You're going to learn a bunch of shit that doesn't actually win you fights. You're going to learn that sure, you can kill another player that doesn't know about like using cover and right hand peeking. And he's just running out in the open from place to place and just kind of like standing still while blind firing or whatever. Like you might win those fights, but you're never going to win fights against better players who, know how to move and know what to utilize and know like routes and things like that. So, yeah, sure, it might sound like a good idea, but it's the worst thing for a new player to be stuck with other new players.
Well, and I just don't think it'll work in Tarkov. Like
No, it
I
doesn't.
don't think yeah, it's like there's no way to really do it cuz people level so fast that you're going to be going from, your early levels to your mid levels within a few days if you play every day, like all day.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like if that whole time you're being babied with people that's equal, you're not getting better. You're like
No,
you're just you're thinking that everybody's like you when in reality they're not.
not at
Like you
all.
said, you got to go up against those people. You got to learn from it. You got to understand that, them being better than you isn't permanent. You can get as good as them. You just got to try.
Well,
Like
and here's
you
the other
can't
side
just
of that.
expect it to be handed to you.
When you kill that player too, right? Like because he was
Yeah.
not paying attention, or you got a nice shot off, or you just happened to get the kill. You know,
Well, that's what most of the comments were saying was like, well, you might as well just not even play because all you're going to be getting is the same old same kits. No one's going to have anything good. Anybody you kill is just going to have junk because no one, if you're
They
basing
don't know what they're doing.
if you're basing the matches on skill and loadout, then there's no come up.
Yeah, and that's not good.
But I don't mean
it's not good for Tarkov.
Basically, at the end, the conclusion I think I drew from most comments was people were just like, go play PvE.
Yeah. I mean, that's accurate though, and that's not trying to be mean, but that's what it is.
No.
If you want a babyfied Tarkov, that's PvE. And I hate to say babyfied. That's a bad reference.
Well,
that's a bad way to
not
say
even
it.
Babyfied. If
dialed
you
down,
want,
a more relaxed.
If you want time to learn the game without being bullied by chads in higher levels, right there's your way. Go play PvE. Get a hold on the game. You have more opportunities now than you ever did before to get a grasp on the game before you jump into the real thing. I played PvE all last wipe. Like, I love PvE too.
Same. I did too. I enjoyed the hell out of it.
Tarkov is a great game, whether you're playing a PvP or you're just playing it single player. There's a reason SPT is so popular. There's a reason PvE is so popular. It's because people really enjoy it. Yeah. Well, no, I mean, they enjoy that too. I mean, that's probably 30% of it, but the other 70% is, it's just something people enjoy. And just because it's there doesn't mean that it's a bad thing, or doesn't mean it's, you're less than. It just means you enjoy something that other people don't. Yeah. But trying to convert PvP into something that it's not is not the answer. Trying to even out PvP is not Tarkov. Tarkov should be unexpected things, like you don't know what's happening. Like, it's unpredictable.
Kind
of like a night at grandma's.
Fuck, dude. You never know what's going down at Granny's. But yeah, like you've got almost 8,000 hours. I'm almost at 4,500 hours. I'm tracking it. I'm keeping up with it. I'm getting there. But like,
and we
spent the entire wipe on PvE. No, we don't chat it up, but we're also not rats. Like, we just play a little slower, more methodical. But we're good players. We have good stats. We know what we're doing. We understand the game. But we spent the entirety of a wipe on PvE.
Yeah,
and didn't really think much about PvP. Like, there was a couple times I logged in and just like dicked off. I'd go to factory and just run crazy shit and just like have fun. But like,
we played at the beginning of the wipe, if you remember, because it was the wipe on Christmas. It was on New Year's actually, and we had basically I think I went up to like level 23 or 24 or something, and then we switched over on PvE. We started doing the what was that event? Korvad. We did the Korvad event. And then after that, I just never went. I never looked back. I just stayed on PvE.
Yeah, same. Because like it's not as good. Okay, it's identical to Tarkov, just without the other players, which is fine and it's fun because like the AI PMCs, I just consider them more like rogues, raiders type situation.
Yeah, that's pretty much what they are. They're just more raiders and rogues.
Yeah,
and I mean, it's a nice alternative. Like, single player Tarkov is fun. Just like if there was, I
got to do things that I would never get to do on PvP because I was in PvE.
You get to try things that you would never try. You get to run kits that you normally wouldn't run. You get to be whatever you want to be without, worry. And it opens up the experience, especially for people who've never got to experience certain things. It has a reason that, it's so popular and it's understandable. But at the same time, like I said, it's like we have that for those other reasons. We don't need to be changing PvP Tarkov. Right. And I'm confused as to why some people still think it needs change when we have.
I think they're non-PvE owners. I think they just haven't been on PvE.
That's what I'm thinking.
Because it's like, it's weird.
Maybe they didn't buy PvE. Maybe they don't want to buy PvE. So it's like they just want. But it's like, even inside regular Tarkov, you have a practice mode, like where you can go in and run the raid. Like, you don't say progression, but it's like,
if your goal is to just learn the game and get better, then that's what you do, right? You go to PvE, go to offline raids.
Well,
And here's another option to get better with PvP and just fighting in Tarkov in general. Use Arena too. Like, it's such a good aim trainer and gets you comfortable with firearms. You know how
yeah,
they work. It just gives you a better opportunity to
it
win
helps you
fights.
with fights so much because I found, like, especially in this wipe, when I switched over to Arena, it's like I realized I was not using hipfire near as much as I need to. Like,
Yeah,
it
it's
just,
underutilized by me too.
yeah, yeah, and it gets you dialed in on all that stuff. It gets you, familiar with all these different guns. It gets you familiar with other people's play styles. It gets you confident. You know what I mean? You feel
Starts
like you can
teaching
go
you.
into a
Yeah.
fight. Yeah, and the other thing, I remember now more about this little post I was reading. One of their reasons that they were stating this was they were saying when 1.0 happens and Tarkov tries to appeal to mainstream, that's why they were saying it needed it. It said that when they tried to appeal to mainstream and everybody new just gets stomped out, they said it's going to be bad for the game, and they said that's why they need like a level cap at the beginning, or basically,
Some sort of
you know,
tutorial area or something.
yeah, just basically you needed some sort of matchmaking
I
that
would be okay with
protects
this.
people.
When you start Tarkov, especially on your fresh wipe, day one of the wipe, day one of your account, I should say. When you start Tarkov, you select USEC or Bear, and then you select new player, returning player. If you select new player, you get put into your first 5 raids on Ground Zero or whatever map, specifically only with other new players. And that's only for, I would even go as low as 2 raids, just enough to where you can get comfortable with the movement, comfortable with the gameplay, comfortable with mechanics, and then put you into regular raids. But that's like the bare minimum that
Wait a
I would
minute.
be, or
Did you
the
say
maximum that I would be allowed with, okay with.
get comfortable with mechanic?
Yeah, yeah. You can find him sometimes. Like, you can get real
Okay,
cozy
I
with him.
mean, if that's what you're into.
Grandma's opened me up to a lot of fucking things, buddy.
Obviously.
But no, like, you could spend a few raids just like acclimating to Tarkov essentially, and I think that would be
Yeah.
okay. But it has to very, very quickly and very abruptly go from, okay, that was your tutorial
Well,
raids, but welcome to
I
Tarkov, because that's
I think they
part of Tarkov. It's
will.
like a Dark Souls game in that aspect.
I think they will kind of do that, and I think that's what they're going for with Ground Zero. We originally, when Ground Zero came, everybody was kind of confused. Like, this is because it was touted as like the starter map, but what
Right,
I think people didn't get is story wise, that's the starter map, not
right.
like,
Not progression wise, not level
yeah,
wise.
not like difficulty level wise. But
Yeah,
I think now that it's got that perception, I think BSG's kind of going with that as kind of the introduction, not only story wise, but also difficulty wise. That's why it's the only map that doesn't have player scavs.
yeah.
Like, that's a big change.
That
I
is a
don't think
major
people
change.
realize. Yeah, I don't think people realize you can go on Ground Zero, and if you kill everybody in the raid, or you're pretty sure all the PMCs are dead, you're
You're
like
by
free to
yourself.
do
You and
whatever.
AI scavs.
Yeah,
That's it.
yeah, you got some AI scavs. Now you're playing PVE Tarkov,
Yeah.
and there's a reason that only one map is set like that, and I think that's the reason. I think that is going to be kind of the experimental
Introduction.
test bed for,
Yeah.
showing people's, and I don't think it's where it's Tarkov. I don't think it's going to be anything drastic. I think it's going to be minor things like that, like no AI scavs, or I mean, no AI scavs, no no player scavs.
Just 6
Just
PMCs.
you. He just drops you
Yeah.
in, drops you in.
Yeah.
But
Have
I
fun.
do think it seems like that's the route they're going. Like,
It does
taking
seem
the
that way.
scavs away made me realize that, because before it 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 was one of the harder maps. Like, you get
For
dropped in
sure.
there, it's like scavs
It's so
everywhere, player
tight and
scavs,
congested.
PMCs.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
tough. It's
yeah.
hard to
It was
move.
one of the worst raids, or one of the worst maps for someone to start Tarkov on, because you don't know what's going on. You're getting shot at from everywhere. You're hearing shots from each corner, like right beside you, underneath you, above you. So it's like, it was kind of one
It's
of
a
the worst
lot.
maps to introduce someone.
Yeah.
But now with no player scavs, it's not huge like at first, but when you actually think about it, that's a
It's pretty
big
massive. It's a big
yeah, that's a
change.
big
It's a big
change
help.
from the normal, yeah,
Yeah.
because
Well,
it
because
just
like it
it needed
decongests the
that.
map to the point that it lets you move around. Sure, it's
Yeah.
still limited because the map is small, but it opens up the door for you to just start creeping around and figuring things out. Instead of being
Yeah.
like, I spawned in, I got to just sit here for 5 minutes, wait till people move around. I got 5 minutes to move until player scouts come in. And you know what I mean? It's just like, shit, that's rough.
Yeah, because by no means is it easy, but it's
Easier.
having no worry about the late part of the raid and player scouts spawning in and just being everywhere.
Yeah.
That is a pretty big deal in Tarkov world. You know, it that's probably as big of an adjustment as you're ever going to get for like difficulty levels from BSG. So I look at it as a win. I look at it as now that seems like something uh they could tweak it a little more. Like, you know, I could see them doing a couple more things, but nothing major. But that seems like it's a good enough area now where someone can, you know, cut their teeth on that map and kind of learn the ropes there.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. That's a good way to say it. Sticking with Ground Zero though, because we are running tight on time at the moment. Let's talk about some of the stuff Nikita just posted. And we'll get into the picture that was posted of the terror group building on Ground Zero. So that looks like a 1.0 teaser trailer of the event that took place before the big event happened. This looks like when USEC was working with Terra Group, or still does. Um, Bear and UN came in and were like, "Hey, we got subpoenas, we got warrants." USEC said, no, essentially, and a big firefight takes place, and there's like RPGs going off, and they got machine guns and launchers and all kinds of stuff. Nikita had posted this image. Um, and it just looks like a very cleaned up version, a not destroyed version of the Terror Group science building. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, it looks like a currently in use, actively up and running version of it.
which, I mean, to me, this just screams at the beginning of the 1.0 wipe, we're going to have a cutscene where it shows this event taking place. And shortly after that is where we're dropped in, somewhere on Ground Zero for whatever purpose we were here for, probably to defend or help USEC with this
Right.
scenario. To which it expands, and we start to learn the story, and the game progresses. But yeah, it's a cool image because it is blurry, but there's a lot of details here that you can kind of pick up on. I mean, the most obvious one that's in your face is like the AK stock on what we can assume is a bear. Um, and then it looks like inside the door there's like a USEC stand in there. So that's what makes me really think that this is just like the cutscene for showing that uh firefight taking place.
That's either a bear standing there or a human soldier.
You don't think that's a bear claw?
I mean, that's why I said or. I'm 50-50.
That's fair. That's fair. Okay, so it could be a human soldier for the Russian squad, or it could be a bear. Not really sure on the breed, but could be a bear.
We'll
But
figure
yeah,
that out
that's
later. That's probably something
100% an
they'll
AK
hint at.
stock.
Yeah,
And
definitely an
it
AK.
the guy on the mid right in the second doorway there, he looks like a PMC standing there, not like a terror group employee with like a lab coat and things like that. But in the story, this is essentially how it plays out. They walk into the front lobby. USEC stops them there, doesn't let them in. Firefight. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully that's what we see. We don't know much because again he just dropped these pictures. So, uh,
But
but
it
yeah,
falls in line with the story that we do know that happens at the start of our journey,
yep,
and it makes perfect sense for it.
it really does. Even to the like the terror group building and stuff, just the layout of it and things like that, and then like the black SUVs out front of it, like it all falls in line. All of it falls in line.
Yeah,
It's really cool to see the story and the game look so similar. Like when I first saw
yeah,
it, I almost knew immediately, like, oh shit, this is where it happened. But
yeah.
yeah, after that we have this image, which looks it's the same rendering, right? It's the same software. I for Thursday's video, I kind of assumed that this little clipboard here was leak related for the upcoming event, and then everything else around it was probably like 1.0 trailer stuff. Maybe if the icebreaker ship idea is accurate and we have a lightkeeper task line that takes us out, Who knows, when we get introduced to Lightkeeper, this is what we start to see, like this whole cutscene that they've made, or maybe as we progress his story, we start getting more and more cutscenes with Lightkeeper in it. But I do think this is a cool image. He's definitely keeping tabs on a lot of stuff. But yeah, it's cool to see these 1.0 cutscenes, and these are in the same art style as the Terror Group video that we had a couple months ago. That 3D rendering or the rendering that they did of that, which was really cool. And then
Yeah.
the thing that stumps me, absolutely stumps me, and I'm glad you're here, so we can kind of go into this a little bit. What do you think this icon is? What do you think this logo is? Like, it's obviously Terra Group related, but like, why and what? And like the shape of it's kind of odd. I was thinking it's like maybe Battle Pass related, potentially, or possibly achievement related for the event, but that doesn't really fit with anything. Like, if it's a cultist event, what's the tree have anything to do with it?
I mean, it looks like an icon badge for something, and that's
It
the reason I
does.
like achievement, but also it could very well be something totally different. But like you pointed out, it's something to do with Terror Group. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's so hard to be certain because it's not much to go on. But yeah, I don't know. I can't definitively say anything really.
Yeah, it's so up in the air on it. I don't have any real guesses. Um, I don't know. It could be one of like the subsections of Terra Group. I think I'd originally said like mining, but that doesn't really fit. But it could be like one of their other companies that they have, like Terra Group, fucking forestry division or something. Who knows?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, this could be achievement event related. This could be achievement 1.0 related. This could be battle pass achievement. This could be who knows? You know what I mean? I think I even
Well,
went as
and
far as to
just
say like this could be like the start of like the Welcome to Terror Group introductory video for a company, right?
right. Well, that's the
So
one thing I was going to point out is just to clarify everything that we have in Tarkov that has to do with Terror Group right now is pretty much labs, but Terror Group's much bigger than just labs in the Tarkov universe. So that's why we're like not immediately just connecting it to Terror Group labs because Terror Group is huge. So there's
right,
so many other subdivisions that it could be
that's the
related
word.
to that just haven't been introduced yet.
Yeah.
So
And if so, if it is that, what do you think it might be, and when/how do you think we're going to get it introduced to us?
I mean, I think it's safe to say at this point that everything we're getting is related to 1.0, including the upcoming event. The upcoming event,
Yeah,
I believe, is tied into 1.0. Everything
I
from
think
here on
so.
out is
1.0.
progress
Yeah.
towards 1.0. Yeah. So I think every leak, everything we've seen, including the icebreaker and all the different pictures we've seen, all the different weapons we've seen, everything is culminating to 1.0. And all of it has some place in that puzzle, some piece in that puzzle.
Right.
So it's like just figuring out what fits where and what exactly it represents is kind of what we're left with.
Yeah, yeah. We are kind of stuck on this speculation point, but with the event so close, and I assume it runs up until 1.0. I could be wrong, but I would imagine it does, considering
It
it's like
makes sense,
cultist
yeah,
event and all this. Um,
yeah.
hey, we may
Well,
even
and
get, like we've all predicted and hoped for so long, we might finally get like the end of the beta is the start of 1.0, aka like the
yeah,
new happens and like the EMP goes off, all that shit. So who knows?
and that's what I believe the new event is going to be. It's going to be whatever the big thing that sets 1.0 off. That's what the event is going to entail. Like
Yeah,
we're going to be
yeah.
working towards that event. Um,
Hopefully, we get to choose to either help or like hinder the cultists, because I would love to help them set off the nuke.
well,
Not gonna lie.
here's the thing. I think I think where we're going to be starting Tarkov story wise from the beginning.
You're right.
So whatever this event is, it's got to be the original EMP, right? I would
I would
think.
imagine. Yeah, I would imagine.
So all the storyline, all the lore that we know happens past that shouldn't be introduced yet. So this event should be the original EMP.
Could be. Very well could be.
That's
Yeah.
I mean, story wise,
So
that's the
that
only
the
thing that makes
progression could
sense.
take place, it would have to be. The
Yeah,
start of
because
1.0 should be the event, should be the
they
EMP.
couldn't do like a new completely end game type thing and then just bam,
Right.
we're just starting at
Yeah,
the
1.0
square
fresh
one
start.
again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it I mean, they could do it that way and just be like, okay, like everybody died, this is all new, like
Right,
you're starting
right.
over, or like you were like you had a glimpse into the future and now you gotta get back there again, or there's like different
Or
ways they
they could
could
even
play
just
it,
say
but
like, "Oh, the beta was just a beta. Like 1.0 starts how 1.0 starts, and what you guys did in the beta was irrelevant. Like it was just,
yeah,
like
but
that
I
wasn't the
doubt
official
that.
start." I don't think that's the case. They put so
Yeah,
much time into it and so much effort
yeah,
into these teases and leaks and these like details.
yeah. I think
Like,
it's gonna be like storyline like adjacent. I think it's gonna
yeah, I
be the
think so.
beginning of the lore.
Yeah. And I mean, like, we've had a lot of teases towards the EMP.
Yeah,
The labyrinth event was towards it, focused towards it, and that kind of shows us that they were assembling the nuke, right? So it's like the next
right.
event could potentially even go further as, and that's the other side of it, is there's been a lot of these Nikki leaks that we've gone over in past weeks that have shown little hints at facilities and bombs and like certain things happening. So I think, yeah, I genuinely think you're right on that. I think that it is, 1.0 adjacent. But
Well,
yeah,
I
as
think
to
the
what the icon
confusion
is,
was like a lot of people assumed that we're living because we are living in the Tarkov where the EMP already happened. Like
right.
supposedly that's why it is the way it is. So
Right.
that kind of is why it throws things off. It's like we're supposedly already in that Tarkov. So how are we going to restart? Like, so is it because we know they were after a second nuke or a second EMP? So is that where the story's going to start? Like that's the
Maybe.
thing. They could start the story from a different place, and that is it could still make sense that way. Um,
Yeah. Yeah, that's true.
or,
They could do that.
or they could just do a flashback, like we
Here's
do the
what happened
1.0
a month
event.
ago, right?
Yeah, and like as the 1.0 event is happening, depending on what it is, it's like okay, now he's showing you everything leading up to that, or how we got here, or how we got to this point, and that's start of Tarkov. Like, okay, now you're starting the game, and then once you actually escape Tarkov, you actually get the real ending, the real event, the real like summary, instead of like 1.0
Yeah.
being that.
Right, right,
It,
right. I
it could
could
go
see
so
that
many
too.
ways,
Well,
but that's what's cool about
they've
it
kept the door
is,
open for so long that yeah, they
well,
can do
that's what
that.
I'm saying. It's not 100% known. Like, it's not like, oh, this for sure is what's going to happen. It has to happen
Right.
like this. The fact that they can twist some things a little bit and, kind of alter some things. And it doesn't have to be one to one, of the original like lore. Like they can always change it. They've made the lore. Like they can expand it. They can take things away. They can change things. Like as long as it makes the game great, I'm down for whatever.
Yeah, absolutely. And I am curious to see what route they do end up going with it. Like it's fun to speculate, but at the same time, like once you finally figure it out and like hear what it is, it's usually so much more than what you expected.
Right.
But yeah, it is cool. It is interesting, and I'm curious. I'm very
I
curious.
mean, I mean, not to go on a tangent, but like we've talked about so many times, that's one of the special things that goes beyond the game of Tarkov is the amount of lore and time and effort that's been put into the storytelling and the just world creation of Tarkov
Yeah.
is beyond most games. Like it's its own little like just universe of different things that just most games like would never even come close to like informational wise. Like it
Right.
just has so
It
much
goes
done.
above and beyond. Yeah.
Yeah,
Every time.
yeah.
Every time. Yeah, I love the studio for that. They do way more than any most other studios, and honestly more than they really even need to, more than they have to. But
They do
it just
more than
shows the
like
passion and the love
movies
for the game.
or TV
Yeah.
shows. Like you're talking like series that have went on for like 10 seasons don't have this much information or this much
Yeah.
storytelling. It's like there's
It's impressive.
an insane amount of time and effort that has been devoted to Tarkov.
Yeah, it's insane.
And the
It's cool though.
accuracy of everything Like nothing is like way out of left field. Everything lands in place. Everything builds from each other. It's like it all lines up. And they've never strayed too far to just, score points on making a cool story. Everything stays connected.
Yeah,
It
it's
just
all still
it's
tied together in
impressive.
some way. It really is.
Yeah.
It's extremely impressive. But yeah, so even in to continue with kind of that idea, the next thing I wanted to bring up was this other image that they posted. It's a so we had the one during the winter time, right? Where he was working on the computer and then he ends up blowing the computer up. That's where we got the image for our tourist background, right?
Right.
Um so they posted a new one. This time he is in the it looks like just like summer season, maybe going into fall, and he's doing the whole fixing bugs, crash reports and cheaters and all that stuff. Like he's hyper hacking the game or whatever it is, like the last time he was doing all this extra shit. So to me that just says we're getting another quick like teaser update, like, oh, this was done, this type of thing, bug fixed, got it, like they did with the last one, like just a goofy little trailer, just like a quick little tease. Um, but yeah, I think that's what's coming up from that. I don't really have a lot for it. Um, Hopefully I get a new picture of the wife and kids to use, but we'll see. We will see. But yeah, so I would expect some sort of information coming along soon from that. And then, of course, we have Chronicles of Rizzy stuff that they haven't really posted about recently. Those are usually only in NikiLeaks. But we should be getting extremely close to a new season, anyways. If we don't have one before 1.0, I would imagine we get one in 1.0. But yeah, the next thing is he posted a picture of these patches. And this is just my obligatory I'm going to Pax West comment now. So hopefully I get to pick up a bunch of these at Pax West. The plan is to just go out there pretty much exclusively to see these guys. Like there's a lot of stuff going on out there. Obviously I'm doing some other things, but like my main focus is BSG. So yeah, I'm hoping I can get out there, get a bunch of patches and stuff. But this one's really funny. Eshkert from Turker, like it's just goofy. But
Yeah.
yeah, there's like just goofy shit, and I'm excited to get out there and see them because like every time I go to the store, I don't know if you guys have this issue. I don't know if anybody else even cares to buy BSG merch shit or Tarkov merch shit. But like every time I go to the store, it's extremely limited. I can only get like I want a bear patch, but there's only like one or two in stock, and only the smaller sizes, and this and that, and there's like no shirts, there's no hats, there's not really much of anything. So hopefully, with PAX West, be able to pick up some cool stuff. And but yeah, that was just I had to talk about PAX West situation. After that, we did get an update. This was since July 17th, 2025, more than 3,600 cheaters have been banned and escaped from Tarkov. And then obviously we have the list of names. They're all on there. I encourage everyone to go through, read each name individually, one by one, and see if any of your friends are on that list. If they are, call them fucking losers.
Yeah,
But
don't let them
yeah,
lie to you and tell you they were just running an experiment to make a video, and then they didn't make the video, and
just
they
had too much fun running the hack, so waited till they
right.
got banned and then made the video saying, "Oh yeah, I meant to do this, but the footage got lost. Here's a quick take at an attempt of trying to cover my ass." And that's how that video read. So we'll talk about that real quick because it is kind of greasy in my opinion. There's a content creator. He made a
Well,
video.
just to be fair, just to be fair, this is 100% our opinions. Like we have no proof.
Right.
The guy could be 100% legit, could be telling the truth. It just seemed a little weird.
It does seem
Um,
weird.
but yeah, you can go ahead. I just
Uh,
wanted to state that.
there's a creator. He made a video. He's like, I was hardware banned for cheating. And we start watching the video individually, not even realize the other one was watching it or anything. I mean, it was a Tarkov cheating video, so of course it pops up. But he goes in and essentially says, "Oh, I was working on this video idea months ago or something along the lines, a while back, um, and then I opted out and chose not to do it, and then I got hardware banned, and then I tried it on my buddy's account, and his account got instantly banned because I'm hardware banned, and so here's what I could recover of my footage." And he goes on through a couple of raids, or one or two raids even, and just kind of like shows this and that. And he's like only chasing down high KD players. So I don't know. There's a few things about it that just don't like make the most sense.
Yeah,
Instead
it
of
seems
looking
strange.
and chasing down players that were, like going for the most kills and like racking it up. And then also, oh, well, you had mentioned it earlier, and it was a really good point. It was like, why would
Yeah,
he
he had
have
a bunch of
all of the,
cheats on.
yeah, yeah, why have all of the cheats if you're just needing walls and wires, right?
Well,
Uh,
and here's the one thing I'll say. I've never watched this guy. I don't know how he plays Tarkov. From what he says, he's been playing it for quite a long time. I believe he said since like 2017, 2018, somewhere around there. Um, and he made it out that if anybody has watched him, they know he doesn't cheat because he's below average, is the way he kind of made it out. So that's why I say maybe he's 100% legit. Maybe he was,
Maybe.
maybe it all makes sense. It's just hard to trust anybody that doesn't tell you about their cheating until they get banned.
Waits
And
till they
then they're
get
like, oh,
banned.
yeah, I was doing this. It just, and then again, I might be wrong on that. Maybe he announced that he was doing it back then, and maybe I just don't know. And these are the part of the reasons why I want to clarify that, we don't know for sure.
It is odd
But
though.
yeah, it was odd. And it's hard to trust anybody when, you know, people have
Anyone and
a
everyone could be doing
reputation.
it, and
Well, I was going to
yeah,
say, cheaters have a reputation for finding every reason they can to justify their cheating. So,
yeah,
of course, someone's going to say, I was only doing it to find the cheaters. Of course, after go to video, someone's going to say, I was doing the same thing he was.
right.
So, I'm not
Well, and the fact that
100%
they
saying
waited until
that,
they got banned, though, that's a weird one. That's
yeah.
so weird.
Well,
Like, you're
that's
making the
from
video
what
and
he
you're planning the
said.
content.
From what he said, it started last wipe, and that's when he was going to make the video. And then he said he just didn't find much information. It didn't turn out the way he wanted it. He said, I really didn't find very many cheaters, so I thought it's not even worth posting. But I mean, I think that's worth posting. That's
Yeah, that's
showing that
shows the
you're
player
not
count.
running into, yeah, showing you're not
So
running
at
into a ton of people cheating. Like,
best,
I
he's
think,
not. He was using it specifically just to capture the video, and at best, he is not wanting to post it because it's not enough drama, so it's not going to get enough clicks. At worst, he was using the cheats, got caught, got banned, and then decided to dump some footage and say, "Hey, here's my my take on all this."
right. And like I
But
said, it's
I
strange.
agree
We
though.
could 100% be wrong. Yeah, there could be tons of people who know this guy who watch him, and they could let us know in the comments. Be like, I've watched this guy for so many years. There's no way he cheats. Like, this is legit. And you know what? I'm okay with that. I'm not 100% one way or the other. The story
Right.
seemed too good to be true.
Yeah, and it
But
is odd to
who knows?
wait to like just because you didn't get, a bunch of cheaters and weren't able to get, a duplicate of Goat's video.
Yeah.
Why would you not want to post that? Especially if you've been playing for so long. You want a
Well,
healthy player base. You want people to know that the cheating's not as bad, or at least it doesn't seem as bad from your perspective. So
that's
it's
the
just
biggest
like
red
a
flag for
little
me.
scummy.
It's like because you didn't run into a lot of cheaters is not enough of a justification for you to go through all the trouble of buying all the cheats, running around taking a risk on your main account because it was his
Right.
main account, I think,
Yeah. Yeah.
because he said his main account got nuked. So, or maybe he said it because of the hardware ban. I can't remember,
Right.
but
Yeah.
still, it's like knowing that you can get hardware banned, just risking your PC, risking your hard drive, like it's a lot to
Yeah.
risk just to throw it away because you don't find a ton of cheaters. Like that's
Right.
the weird part,
Yeah, it
especially if
is.
you
It's
are
extremely
already
weird.
making Tarkov content. Now, like I said, there are answers that maybe I don't have, and those answers that would be satisfying would be he did let people know he was doing it, and he did let people know that he didn't feel comfortable enough making the video because it didn't seem good enough.
How long did he
If
have
he
the
had
cheats
already
on his
stated that,
system?
yeah, that'd be another thing to be good to know. It's
How long did
like,
he have the cheats? How many raids did he run attempting to get this footage? How many,
well,
how much of that was live streamed for everyone to see what he was doing instead of,
from
closet cheating?
what I remember, he said it was an alternate account that he had bought. he put the cheats on, and he used them for that video. And then once he didn't get the footage he wanted, he just logged back into his normal account, started playing Tarkov. And then the other part I didn't understand is he said one day he logged into that account again just to see like that account, and it was banned. And then he logged into his friend's account, and his friend's account got banned. So the part I don't understand is how did his main account not get banned at first?
Well, if he's hardware banned, any account he logs into, why would he go?
Yeah, I'd have to watch it again just to make sure.
There are a lot of red flags in that shit though, and it is a little sketchy to me. It's hard to say. I trust this video because it's so easy to fake things, and it's so easy to just be like, "Oh, I did this because of this," and that's my my spiel.
The perfect excuse if you have been using the cheats and you want to get out ahead of it before everyone sees your name in there and be like, hey, wait a minute, isn't that your alt? Isn't that your alt account that you mess around with?
Right. Like, and aren't cheats not necessarily like user account based per Tarkov? Wouldn't it be just it's on my PC? Isn't it just downloaded software?
It's software, but
because
for the license,
so many
it's licensed to an account.
Go through it's different account. And how are they able to like?
I think you have to activate the cheats. You have to send them your account, and or something. There's a way they link it to the account. I don't think it's on like the PC, and just any account can cheat.
Open access PC.
Now there, I'm sure are some like that, but majority from what I understand is it's linked to an account, but I don't know for sure. Yeah, there's just a lot of sketchiness there, and that's why I'm open.
And I do have a lot of questions. Hey, if you see this video, hear the podcast, and you want to, kind of not just like explain to us what was going on, but just kind of like give us your point of view on a lot of things. Welcome to have a conversation.
Yeah, we do this podcast each week, so I believe his name is Joey Dope or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you happen to get word of this, hit us up. Talk to us. Let us know exactly what happened. Because, like I said, I'm trying to be fair about it. I don't know for sure.
We're not trying to just be assholes outright.
Yeah. We're just being honest that it's sketchy. And I think you would agree if it was vice versa. And you heard us saying that same thing. So, honestly, we're willing to admit, if we're wrong. And that's, we've made that pretty clear. So we're just interested. We're interested. You put the story out there to get people to talk about it. So that's what's happening. We're talking about it.
Yeah.
So let us know if you have a story, and we'll listen to it.
Absolutely. But yeah, outside of that, I think that's about all I have for the week. If there's anything else you want to add.
I do have one thing to add. The Battlefield 6 beta has been going on. It's fun, it's Battlefield, but the main thing I wanted to point out is the first 3 days, they banned 300 and some thousand players just in the first few days. So everybody who's like, Tarkov's got more cheaters than any other game. Just think about that. The first, and this is a beta, and this was the early access to the beta, because the first couple of days was only early access. The actual beta had only been going on for like 1 day. And I get it, it's free. So that's one thing. It's easy to have accounts, but you're still losing your EA account. You're still losing, you have to make there's effort that goes into it.
It's a process. So yeah, for sure.
Still 300,000+ people.
That's crazy.
Decided to cheat in a beta. And that's only the ones who got caught. So it just puts it into perspective how many cheaters are out there and how other games really like are in gaming. Just as bad, if not worse, than Tarkov.
Yeah.
I just thought that was a crazy stat.
It is a crazy stat. But yeah, Battlefield 6 is also kind of cool. Like, if you're into Battlefield and COD and stuff, like, definitely check it out.
It's going to be one of the biggest Battlefields in a long time. I've played every Battlefield. I always do. I enjoy Battlefield. I'm not like a Battlefield main or anything, but I do love going in, playing a few rounds. It's your standard Battlefield. It's got some cool new stuff, but majority of it is just your normal same old same in a good way. Like, they didn't try to go crazy with it. They knew what their bread and butter was, and so far they've done pretty good at buttering that bread. Now, the only thing I've been disappointed with is the maps. I'm a fan of the Conquest, huge,
Yeah,
128
like
player
the
maps.
64,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
Big
yeah. And
shits,
it's like
tanks, planes, jets, choppers,
only
all of it.
one map right now has any aerial combat, and it's kind of small. All the other maps are like very urban, dense, like really just it's cramped. Like that's the way to describe it. You're always like squished and there's stuff around you everywhere. Now the destruction is awesome. They stepped it up
Yeah,
on the destruction. You can go inside almost any building and you can just blow a hole through the wall, the roof, the floor, and it just opens up the next place, the next
that's
room,
so
the
cool.
next
Yeah,
house. Yeah. So you can like level entire buildings. Like it's above and beyond on that. Like they did a
yeah.
really good job. Um, it runs great, like great. I was running it in 1440p ultra everything without frame gen and getting like 150 FPS. If I turned frame gen on, I was getting like 230 FPS.
That's
Like
gnarly.
it runs great. Yeah, it runs
Yeah,
great. Not a single crash, not a single hiccup, not a single stutter. I had no issues, and I've played a good bit of it, so it seems well optimized. It's looking like it's going to be good.
yeah.
Um,
I'll eventually check it
there's
out. I just
something else. Well, there's a second weekend starting on the 14th,
okay.
and it's free to everybody. There was something else I was going to say. What was it about Battlefield? Well, anyways, if I think of it, I'll say it. But
All right, but yeah, that's everything for the week. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Talking Tarkov, be sure to like and comment
oh,
below.
hey,
If
one more thing. Sorry to interrupt your outro. The thing I was going to point out: Battlefield's anti cheat is Javelin, which is kernel based. It
nice,
has you have to have TPM 2.0 and secure boot enabled on your PC. So a lot of people had to update to Windows 11. A lot of people had to just do things they weren't comfortable with doing, like going into their BIOS and enabling all that.
yeah,
And all the reasons people point out why you shouldn't do that because people don't want to do that. Well, guess what? It's broken every record for
for
Battlefield. It even
yeah,
beat COD. It has more concurrent players than any COD has ever had on Steam. Like it's by far the most popular beta that Battlefield has ever had. And even with all those restrictions, it just goes to show you can implement anti cheats like that and people will still play it. So
yeah.
don't
If you
let
have
that
a
be
good
the talking
game,
point.
people will do what
Yeah.
it takes to get to the game.
Yeah, don't believe the talking
Definitely,
point of, oh, you can't do that. No one would want to do that. People don't
yeah,
want to upgrade just to do that. Well, guess what? More people than ever are playing this game, and a lot of them had to do that. So,
yeah, yeah.
and it's good at catching cheats because I haven't seen a cheater. Like I said, 330,000 got banned. I've seen a few like videos online, like of someone running cheats, but I did not run into a single person. And for Battlefield, that's pretty
That's
good
impressive.
because
Yeah, that's really good.
Battlefield always had a cheating issue. Yeah, and it was like blatant cheaters would just run all over the place. So it just goes to show you that you can implement an invasive anti cheat for the good of the game, and people will still play the game.
Take
All
notes,
right, sorry, I
Tarkov.
just had to put that out there.
Implement kernel level, which we know they're working on any cheat. We know they're working
Right,
on
right.
something better than what we have.
Yep.
Hopefully kernel level, hopefully something that can really start shutting down a lot of the problems. But yeah, that's everything for the week. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this episode of Talking Tarkov, be sure to like and comment below if you're still playing the hardcore wipe or if you were waiting for the next one. Also, if you haven't yet, subscribe to the channel. We're on the road to 1,000 subscribers. It helps us out a lot and it keeps you up to date with all of our content. Also, I'd like to say thank you to our subscribers and a special thanks to our channel members. If you'd like to help support the channel, consider becoming a member below. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you next week. See ya.